January 2025. Dores Beach, Scottish Highlands. A visitor captures footage of something in the water. A dark mass pushing up from below, creating a wave on a perfectly still surface. The shape moves with purpose. Within hours, the footage spreads worldwide. For 1,000 years, witnesses have reported something in these waters. Despite sonar sweeps, DNA analysis, and satellite surveillance, the sightings continue. Ancient creature, mass delusion, or something science hasn't categorized, we're examining what lies beneath the surface. The persistence. The Loch Ness Center's Amy Todd examines the image. Her verdict? The image shows a dark mass creating waves beneath calm, perfect water, the sighting lasting several minutes. By May 2025, another witness spots something long and thin surfacing during a search event at Urquhart Bay. 2 official sightings within 5 months. Since systematic tracking began, the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register has logged 1,160 encounters. Numbers fluctuate: 10 in 2023, 3 in 2024, multiple in 2025, but never cease entirely. The scientific puzzle remains. Why do sightings continue after definitive studies found no monster? Most witnesses aren't seeking attention or perpetrating hoaxes. They're ordinary tourists at places like Dores Beach who unexpectedly observe something inexplicable. Their genuine confusion and testimony have remained consistent across centuries. Something unexplained continues occurring at Loch Ness. The question is what? The origin. The modern Loch Ness phenomenon began May 2, 1933, when the Inverness Courier published water bailiff Alex Campbell's account of Aldi Mackay's April 15th sighting. Mackay, driving the A82 with her husband, witnessed an enormous whale-like creature rolling in the water. Campbell's visceral description: the creature plunging and surfacing for a full minute, water churning like a simmering cauldron before disappearing in boiling foam, introduced the word monster to print for the first time. However, the story extends to 565 AD, when a 7th century biography of St. Columba described a River Ness water beast that had killed one swimmer and threatened another before the saint commanded it away. Why did 1933 prove pivotal? A new road opened along the loch's northern shore that year, giving workers and tourists unobstructed water views. More observers meant more sightings, generating more newspaper coverage, a self-perpetuating feedback loop. By August, George Spicer reported seeing a massive creature cross the road before plunging into the loch. By November, Hugh Gray captured the first photograph near Foyers, blurred and ambiguous, showing something in the water. Critics suggested a swimming dog. Believers saw proof. Public interest exploded. The name Loch Ness Monster emerged, along with an enduring, unanswered question. The icon that wasn't. April 1934. London surgeon Robert Kenneth Wilson photographs something at Loch Ness. The Daily Mail buys one image for £100, publishing it April 21st. A long neck and small head emerging from dark water. For 60 years, this defines how the world envisions Nessie. Wilson's reluctance to seek publicity lends credibility. A respectable surgeon with nothing to gain. The image becomes cryptozoology's most famous photograph. Then in 1994, Christian Sperling confesses on his deathbed. The photograph is a hoax. Sperling's stepfather, big game hunter Marmaduke Wetherell, had been humiliated by the Daily Mail in 1933 when his reported footprints proved fake. Made with a dried hippopotamus foot, Wetherell's revenge was elegant. A 35-centimeter Woolworth's toy submarine with fabricated head and neck attached. Photograph it in shallow water. Sell it to the newspaper that humiliated him. The icon was a toy, yet the hoax didn't end sightings, they increased. The surgeon's photograph was never the mystery's foundation. Just one image among a century of unexplained encounters. Remove the hoax and the phenomenon persists. Why? When science searched. For decades, scientists have sought definitive proof. 1960s sonar expeditions detected large, unidentified underwater objects. The 1987 Operation Deep Scan deployed 24 boats in a coordinated sweep. Sonar contacts were made, but nothing surfaced. The 2003 BBC expedition used 600 sonar beams and satellite tracking. Nothing conclusive. Then came the most comprehensive investigation ever. June 2018, University of Otago geneticist Neil Gemmell led an international team in a complete Loch Ness DNA survey. Over 250 water samples from surface to depths. 2 weeks of intensive collection. Every organism interacting with the environment within 24 to 48 hours left genetic traces. Results announced September 2019 were definitive in what they excluded. No plesiosaur DNA, no catfish, no sharks, no sturgeon. Not a single reptile in vertebrate data. 500 million DNA sequences analyzed. 3,000 species catalogued. No monster. But the study found something unexpected. Enormous amounts of eel DNA at every sampled location. Surface, middle depths, bottom. Gemmell noted divers reporting eels as thick as their legs in the loch's depths, though he couldn't verify these claims. The data couldn't discount very large eels. European eels typically grow 4 to 6 feet. Some eyewitness reports describe creatures 12, 14, 25 feet long. An eel moving vertically could create a hump-like appearance. Multiple eels together could resemble something serpentine. Science answered one question, no prehistoric reptile, but failed to answer another, what are people actually seeing? The unexplained residue. Science offers explanations. Waves and boat wakes, floating logs and swimming deer. In poor light at distance, ordinary phenomena become extraordinary. Human pattern recognition fills gaps with expectation. We see what we're primed to see. Seismic activity along the Great Glen Fault could create gas bubbles rising from the bottom, unusual standing waves, water disturbances that appear animate. Giant eels, the DNA evidence supports massive populations, and nature produces exceptions. Psychology and economics. Loch Ness attracts 400,000 visitors annually, generating an estimated £41 million for the local economy. That's powerful incentive for ambiguity. These explanations are rational. They account for many sightings, perhaps most sightings. But here's what they don't explain. Why do experienced watermen, people who've spent decades on this loch, continue to report encounters that defy these explanations? Why do sightings happen in calm conditions, in good light, at close range, witnessed by multiple people simultaneously? The 1987 sonar contacts were real. Something large was moving through the water. The researchers saw the readings. They couldn't identify what produced them, but the contacts existed. The 2003 satellite sweep covered every inch of the surface. Nothing. Yet within months, new sightings were reported. The 2019 DNA study was comprehensive and methodical. Found no monster. Yet in 2025, sincere witnesses at Dores Beach and Urquhart Bay saw something that terrified or amazed them. Science hasn't proven the monster exists, but it also hasn't proven what people are seeing. That gap between what the data says and what witnesses continue to experience is where the real mystery lives. The nature of the place. Loch Ness itself resists easy answers. Britain's largest body of freshwater by volume, 23 miles long, over 700 feet deep in places, holding more water than all the lakes in England and Wales combined. The peaty water limits visibility to a few feet. You could hide a submarine in these depths and never find it. The loch is fed by 7 rivers and more than 40 streams. The underwater topography is complex. Caves, crevices, channels that have never been fully mapped. The Great Glen Fault runs directly beneath the loch. Seismic activity is constant, if subtle. The water temperature varies dramatically with depth. Thermoclines create layers where sound behaves strangely, where sonar reads false contacts, where visibility shifts without warning. This is not a simple environment. It's a place where conventional investigation fails, where our instruments produce ambiguous data, where the landscape itself seems designed to hide secrets. The verdict: the Loch Ness Monster, as legend describes it, almost certainly does not exist. No prehistoric reptile survived millions of years in a loch that's only 10,000 years old. Biology, genetics, and decades of surveillance make this clear. Yet something continues to appear. Shadows beneath the surface. Humps breaking the waterline. Shapes gliding through the depths. witnessed by hundreds of people across 1,000 years who swear they aren't mistaken. Perhaps it's giant eels moving in ways we don't understand. Perhaps it's a complex interaction of waves, wakes, and human perception. Perhaps it's geological phenomena we haven't properly studied. Or perhaps it's something we don't yet have the framework to identify. Not a monster, but something stranger and more elusive. The 2025 footage shows something. The witnesses weren't lying. The marketing manager at the Loch Ness Center confirms the conditions were perfect for viewing. Something was pushing water from underneath. What was it? Science says, not a monster. The witnesses say, then what? That question, that gap between scientific certainty and human experience, is where mystery lives. In a world mapped by satellites and explained by data, Loch Ness represents something genuinely unexplained. Not because investigation has been insufficient, but because the phenomenon itself resists conventional explanation. Perhaps the real answer is that some places hold questions too complex for simple answers. That between monster and nothing lies territory our science hasn't learned to navigate. The sightings continue. The data says they shouldn't. Both things are true. Stand at the shore when the mist is rising and the water is still. Look into the depths where visibility fades to black within meters. And ask yourself, if it's not a monster, then what keeps appearing? What moves beneath the surface when no cameras are watching? What did those witnesses actually see? The mystery endures because we haven't solved it. We've only proven what it isn't. What it is remains unknown.